Hey everybody, welcome back inside the Mind of Matt, and I'm back with part 2 of the ramps board conversion of my Mono Price Maker Select here that I got from the yard sale that has a burnt up Melzi board in it. So in this episode I've got my mount all made up that my robot that still doesn't have a name is holding. So we're gonna mount all the components up to it and put it inside the case, and we're going to start to wire. Want to see? Make sure you watch the rest of this video. Stay tuned. Alright, let me have that. Okay, just like I said in my last video, that if you haven't got a chance to watch that, then there'll be a link up there where I announced my 100th video, as well as the special project where I'm going to take this ramps board and install it in this Maker Select case and hook up all the components to it and make it work. So in my last video we clarified that underneath these stepper drivers there are jumpers that we need to make sure that we install all 3 of them. And the one thing I didn't do was I didn't mount the LCD screen connection point, which the LCD screen comes with the ramps board, this kit that I gave a link to in the last video. Apparently the Melzi screen will not work with the ramps board. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this all mounted up and we'll start wiring it. So somebody did make a correction in the comments. I did do a little research, but for the sake of not arguing, this gold does not necessarily mean that it's an official Arduino. So there are knockoffs and clones out there. It is an open source component, so you are going to get, you know, other people making them. So anyways, you see everything mounts right up. And actually I'm going to be using some leftover screws that I took out when I put my Z-brace in. If you didn't get to see that video, I'll put a link up there right now. I'm also putting this mount up on Thingiverse. There'll be a link in the description for it. So if you choose to do this upgrade with a MOSFET, which will avoid any problems that we have had in the past with the Melzi board. And I believe that if the previous owner of this printer had put a MOSFET in it, he would have avoided burning it up. But he also did a E3D upgrade on it and a fan upgrade on it, and did some other things that appear to be a little questionable. So now one thing that I did consider is this. I did print this in PLA, that there would be a temperature issue with it, and I considered printing it in PL or in ABS, but I decided just to experiment and see what happens. the MOSFET on. And now we got just to remount this. Just like that. Now, just for verification, see, I got plenty of clearance, I believe. All right. Okay, it's time to start to take the wires in here and start to connect them to their appropriate things. Now I'm going to show you a couple of key little things about polarity as far as how to hook up your stepper motors. So let me show you that. Alright, so on the Melzi board, if you notice, you've got these labeling. These are your pair notations. So, that being said, we know that this side is 1B and this one being 2B. You want to look on side on the ramps board and you'll see the same 2B and 1B, but like that. So just make sure that you pay attention to the way you plug your stepper motor onto the board. Alright, so these two connectors are a little fat to go into that little tight space, so I am going to have to do something about these connectors. Alright, so these connectors are the stock ones, and they don't fit side by side right here on these terminals. So I needed a different type of connector. So I went onto Amazon and I ordered some of these. And this is the solution to my problem. DuPont connectors, nice and thin. Come with these metal parts, male and female, to crimp on. And I also got my new crimp tool. So I'm going to strip the connectors off. I actually got one already done. And I got to cut these off and re-crimp these on, as well as crimp some on, which I've done a little practice run. And I'll show you how I crimp this in this next little clip right here. Alright, so you got your these are the female portions. We're using 3. Now this tool is a little tricky, but you'll see a gauge on one side. And if you look inside the teeth, they're kind of tapered. So the wider part is the end where your wire is going to go. Now the other thing about this upper part, there's a little, like a tab that locks into this part of your connector. So you don't want that part of it in the crimper. That part of it's going to stick out. It's a ratcheting, so if you click it once it'll lock, twice it'll lock, and all the way until the last where you squeeze it and it release. Use that to your advantage and kind of get it small so you can get your connector in there. Like I said, it'll take a little playing with it in order to get kind of used to, if you got big fingers like me. So that's probably where I want it. And the other thing is that this outer part right here actually crimps right around the wires. So you want to make sure you get it in there deep enough so that it crimps the wire too. So I could have gotten a little bit deeper in there. Give it a little pull and it shouldn't pull off. If it does, then you're going to have to start all over. The other thing, if I didn't mention it, that the part that crimps around the wire, you want in the valley, in that way, so it crimps it right around it. I also want to get it in the right spot. So I'm going to finish crimping these guys, and then I've got pretty much the only thing I got to do after that is put these heat sinks on, so let me get busy doing that. Alright, now both of my X motors are capable of being plugged in next to each other. Okay, so get your X, Y, and Z, and the end stops go here. You start the first set, and then you skip a set, and then you put one on, and you skip a set, so it's going to be your X, skip, Y, skip, Z. Now I did put the stock Z on there, but this is going on there. Once I get in the firmware, which is going to be in the next video, but for now I've got my end stops, my stepper motors. Now all I have to do is get my thermistors. Actually, those are my thermistors right there. Okay, this is for the E motor, so I have to take these out of there and put another DuPont on. Alright, so let's recap the wiring here. Now, I've got the Melzi board in front of me. I want you to know that this particular board is all color coded, so you can kind of tell what goes where as far as the colors, taking it from there and putting on here. But you got your X, your Y, your two Z's, which are changed to the DuPont connectors, and you got your extruder over here, which I had to put a DuPont on as well. Here you got your extruder thermistor and your bed thermistor, your X, Y, and your Z limit switches. This terminal here is for the extruder. This is for the cooling fan. This is actually the control for the MOSFET, which has the bed power going straight to the bed, and then the in on the MOSFET is going straight to the power supply, as well as here these terminals, positive negative are going to, or negative positive will go straight to your power supply. Also, it's kind of hard to read on this one, but if you get right down in there, you can kind of make out a 1 and 2, 1 and a 2, and on the back here you'll see a corresponding 1 and 2. And then of course I've got my power in, all my fans, or all my power, positive and negative, off the terminals. The only thing I'm not going to be able to finish in this build is this fan conglomeration right here. Definitely going to do something to change it because it's ugly. So, but anyways, if there are any questions about the wiring, please leave down in the comment section. I've also left a link, like I said before, in the description for a wiring diagram so you can get a close-up. So hopefully this video has helped you out wiring up your ramps board. There's links down in the description for all the references, as well as my Thingiverse, as well as all my affiliate links. So make sure you check them out. Anyways, stay tuned for the next video where I hook it up to the computer, get my Marlin loaded up, and see if we can get this thing printed. So don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and keep coming back for more Inside the Mind of Matt. Happy printing!